The Resistance, a very small game by Indie Boards and Cards. This is a secret identity game in the tradition of werewolf, mafia, bang. This is a sci-fi game, but the theme is really not the main point here. The theme is pretty abstract. According to the rulebook and the back of the box, the players represent the resistance that is fighting against this dictatorial government of the future, but some of the players are spies sent by the government to undermine the resistance. The first couple of times that I played the game, I thought it was the other way around, that the majority of the players were the government and that the spies represented members of the resistance. After I figured it out, nothing changed. The gameplay is exactly the same. This is really not what the game is about. What the game is about is deduction and deception. Some of the players will be non-spies trying to figure out who the spies are, and the spies are going to try to avoid being caught, and also they're trying to manipulate the players into doing things that go against the interests of the main party. To start the game, you place the turn track in the middle of the table. You will also have tokens for the resistance and tokens for the spies. Then each player is dealt a card that indicates the identity of the player. A player may be a member of the resistance, blue background, or a spy, red background. And of course that card can be looked at only by the owning player, who then has to keep the card secret for the rest of the game. The number of spies and members of the resistance in the game will change depending on the number of players, but usually half or almost half of the players will be spies, so that is a lot of spies. Then each player is given 2 vote cards, a yes vote and a no vote, and I will explain later how you use those cards. Finally, you select a player randomly. That player will be the leader, and the player is indicated by this leader card. The leader will instruct the players to close their eyes, then will instruct the spies to open their eyes, to look at each other, make sure that they know who they are, and then the spies also close their eyes, everybody opens their eyes, and the game is ready to start. And remember, the leader, him or herself, may be a spy. Then the leader has to select a number of players to go on a mission. The number of players selected for each mission depends on the number of players that are playing the game and the turn. Each turn is basically a mission. So turn 1 you have first mission, then second mission. If you have 5 players, then the leader must select 2 players for the first mission, 3 players for the second mission. If we have 10 players, then you have 3 players being selected for the first mission, 4 players for the second, and so on and so forth. And if the leader is not a spy, the leader doesn't know who everybody is, and probably the first mission will be sort of random. The leader may have to select players randomly. If the leader is a spy, then the leader is probably already scheming here. He's probably already figuring out what is a way to select players in order to obtain certain effects. After the leader has announced who the members of the mission are going to be, all players, including the leader, will vote to approve or to try to stop the mission. If you think that the players that have been called for the mission should go on the mission, you play this card, otherwise you play this other card. The vote is secret. All players reveal their cards. If the majority of vote cards are yes vote, then the mission is going to take place. If the majority or just an equal number of cards is going to be no cards, then the mission will not take place. The leader will lose leadership and the leader card will go to the next player. If the leader loses confidence 5 times in a row, that is, if 5 players, 5 missions are voted against in a row, then the spies win a round and they place a red token on the turn track. But suppose that the mission does take place. In that case, the players that have been selected for the mission receive 2 cards, a success and a failure card. They select one secretly and then they place it face down on the table. All the cards are put together and shuffled together because you must not know who played what. Then the cards are revealed. Suppose that we have a mission with 3 players. All cards are blue, then the mission is a success and resistance can place a blue token on the turn track. If even just one of the cards is a red card, then the spies win. The mission is a failure and you place a red token on the turn track. If you are playing with 7 or more than 7 players, the 4th mission requires 2 red cards to fail. Otherwise it is a single card and that is enough to make the mission fail. And this is pretty much how it works, with long discussions between missions and a lot of deduction and bluffing and lying, and a lot of different things will happen. So you will have a series of missions, and sometimes you will have the leader role switching from player to player, and mission after mission, different tokens will be placed on the board. The first team that manages to have 3 tokens of their color on the board is the winner. In this case, the spies are the winners. In this other case, the resistance wins the game. The Plot Thickens, an expansion for the Resistance. Yes, the game comes with its own first expansion that has a separate rule sheet and a separate set of cards. I assume that these cards will allow players to perform special actions and things like that, but from the vague terms that I'm using, you probably have already figured out that I haven't played it. Really, I haven't. I'm just mentioning it so that you know it is there. But neither I nor anybody in my group has expressed the slightest desire to look into the expansion. Why so? Because we're enjoying the base game so much, because everybody really enjoys the tightness, the elegance, the economy of the base game, and nobody felt the desire to change a single thing and to add anything. So I'm mentioning this just so that you know the expansion is there. If the game feels too dry to you, or at a certain point you feel that you want to play it in a different way, then you have the option. But again, you may just be happy with what you get in the base game. This game is super fun. It is really incredible. I really think that the core system is so economic that you do not have to worry about the rules. It really is all about human interaction, about reading the opponents and deceiving and deducing, which really is what is great about secret identity games. I love that. And really in this game, it is fun to play on either side of the divide. As the non-spy, you have all the fun of investigating and trying to figure out who's lying to you, and as a spy, of course, you have the other side. You have to pretend, you have to bluff, you have to manipulate people. Also, when it comes to vote, if you are on a mission, you have different challenges if you're a spy, because usually you will want to play a red card so that the mission goes to your team, but there are cases in which things are trickier. Maybe you're afraid that will reveal who you are, and you will play a blue card. If there are several spies, maybe you will think, oh, I'll let that other person to play the red card, but then what if every spy is thinking that, and then everybody plays a blue card? That also is not good, but may become good because that may help the spies gain credibility. There are just so many different levels and ways in which the game can go. It's full of subtlety, it's full and packed with very interesting interaction. It is good to play it with players that you know very well. It is fun to play with players that you do not know at all. There are just different challenges and things that you can do, and it is just so fun to see what the players bring to the fore. I know him, he is my roommate, he can't shut up to save his life. Why is he not talking all of a sudden? Or for example, we have a player in our group that always looks like he's lying. You ask him, are you a spy? He's like, no, I'm not. And he's not. He answers like that even when he's not a spy. That makes him the perfect spy, but it can drive everybody insane because you just can't tell. He's always looking like he's lying. Fun to play with him, fun to play with pretty much anybody that I played it with. Again, people that play well and people that are not so good still work, because you can't really tell who is really good and who is pretending to be this and that. This game is fun. You need at least 5 players to play it, so of course it is not a game that you can play in just any situation, in any setting. The length of the game changes greatly depending on the number of players. You can play it with 5-6 players and it plays in 10-15 minutes. With 10 players, and we played it that way, we can go up to 30 minutes, even more, but nobody at the end thought that the game was too long, that the game was dragging. Some people at the end of the game say that the game's a little too hard for the non-spies. I don't think so. When I am not a spy, usually I can figure out who the spies are. All of them or many of them. I'm pretty good at this. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying this because the games in which I was not a spy and I lost, usually it is because people did not trust me, did not believe me. So if we ever play together, word to the wise, trust me. I know who the spies are. I know how to figure them out. So trust me, believe me, and we are going to win. I also said that people say that the game is hard for one of the two parties. I didn't say that people complain about it, because even when people say, "Oh, there was no way, we were just so doomed, that we just couldn't win," they say that with a smile on their face, with a certain, with a tone of satisfaction, because just everybody had such a good time that there are times in which even winning or losing is not the point anymore. So this game is super fun. If you have the right group, and if you want a filler, if you want a game that can be played easily and really is engaging, really get people, to work together and to interact in an intense way, please go ahead and pick up this game, because I think you can have a blast with it.